Welcome. It's our Mary Kay Monday Makeover, and today I'm going to show you how to do wow brows. My name is Erica Wallace, and I will put all the details in the comments below of what we've used, so don't panic. I'm going to do two different looks. I'm going to do one look with our brow liner and brow tint, and I'm going to do the other side with our limited edition brow kit. And as I go along, I'll tell you why some are better than others. So to start off with, remember, always have the brushes. I'm sorry, if you haven't got the right tool for the job, it's never going to look perfect. So this is the brow liner and eyeliner and brow brush, and you can see it's got a spool brush on one side, and it's got this lovely little short stubby one on the other side for liner. Now, I always start, I just give a quick brush down so I can see the line that I'm going to use. Now, the liner, if you don't know where to start and finish, I'm just going to give you a top tip, and that is if you hold the liner here on the side of your nostril and just put a little dot there, that's your beginning. This is your end. You hold it at the nostril and do the edge of the eye, and it's going to be here. And you can see on mine, this is why brows are really, doing your brows are really helpful, because you can see I haven't got any hair there. So I'm going to put a little mark to make sure that I add my brow line a bit further. Don't go too far because it'll drag the eye down. And then I'm going to hold it at the side of the nostril through the pupil of your eye, and this is going to be my high spot up here. Now, brows are sisters, not twins. That's why it's really helpful to do them, because then you can get them looking more similar. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's just life. And I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to do tiny feather strokes. So I'm going to do tiny feather strokes up to that high spot. And I'm definitely going to run it along here, because this is where my hair is quite sparse on the brow. So I'm just going to run along the edges down here to my end spot. And then I'm just going to make sure I filled it all in. But you don't need to worry. Even if you can see the brush strokes, don't panic, because what we're going to do, we're going to take the liner end of our brush, and we're just going to smudge all the way along like that. And the nice thing about this is you can get any eyebrow shape you want. If you want it thick, if you want it thin, if you want it, particularly high, you can do whatever you want with these. And then I'm going to finish off with the brow tint. Now, I've just discovered there's a grey hair here. That wasn't a nice surprise this morning. So not only was it a grey hair, it was also much longer than the rest, and it was growing in a completely different direction. So if I take, there's a little spool brush on the end of this brow tint. When I go up and along, when I catch that grey hair, I can colour it with the tint, and so it doesn't show. However, you don't need to panic too much. What it doesn't know is that as soon as we finish this, there's a pair of tweezers coming out of my drawer, and it's gone. Okay? Now, I always do finish with the spool brush from this liner brow brush, because it's just bigger, and I just feel you can get a much better control of the hair that way. Now, I hope you can see already there's a definite, far more definite look on that side. So, really simple, that's that one. So let's go on to the other side. So we're going to use the brow kit. Now, it's like everything rolled in together, because it's got a little brush that's got a liner brush on both ends, and it's got a little spool brush that fits in here. So you take this first color. This palette is a brunette one. There's only three. There's a blonde brunette and a dark brunette. So you can also choose how dark you want to have or light your brows are. So the pomade is a creamy consistency, And I'm just literally going to run it along, remembering, you know, the starting point and the high spot and where you're going to finish along there. And that'll get all the hairs sitting nicely because it'll hold, the pomade will hold them. Then I'm going to take the other side of the brush and take the colour, the brunette. What I tend to do is I define my bottom line because that's the one that bothers me because it's more sparse. Then I'll do the top one and then I'll just fill it in. I always find this is a much more delicate, I find it's a much more delicate colour and method, okay? And then if you want to, you take the spool brush and you just go up and down. And that'll keep everything exactly where it's meant to be, like that. And then to finalise the look, you take the highlighter. I'm just going to use my finger. And I'm going to pop it here on the brow bone. And that will define the brow even more. And just, you know, you can see the brow there. So that's with your brow liner and brow tint. That is with the brow kit. So there you go. So you go and have a great day. Any questions, pop them in the comments below or give me a direct message. And I'm off to find a pair of tweezers.